Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to 12 Days of Printmas Day 5. And for this video, I'm going to look back at my entire year and pick my top 5 builds of 2024. Now what I mean by builds over just a regular 3D print is I had to do something to it besides just print it. Otherwise that would just be a 3D print video, top 5 3D prints. I don't want to do that. So today I'm going to take a look back at all the things I made during the past year and pick my top 5 favorite builds that I made. So coming in at number 5 is Astrobot. So this Kratos version of Astrobot kind of means a lot because it was the first live stream that I actually did on the channel. I painted this and put it together and it's really cool. I was mixing different paints together to try to give it that rough look that he has, as well as the lightning on the axe. It was a little bit different and I kind of had to put different parts together. The antenna on him actually isn't even the right antenna that the model came with. I actually had to cut that off of a different Astrobot. And it's pretty cool because I'm a PlayStation guy, so this is the mascot of PlayStation. And this Kratos version of him is just amazing. I think it took me about an hour and a half to completely paint him, which just goes to show how long you have to take to hand paint 3D prints, especially a little guy like this. It took that long. It's kind of crazy. So yeah, I really enjoyed making him, and I want to start making all of the rest of the Astrobots in different live streams, so that way I can have a whole collection of all the different Astrobots from the new game. So yeah, Kratos Astrobot is number 5. Coming in at number 4, I actually don't even have him anymore. I actually ended up selling the statue, but it's the Deadpool statue. So this statue is a super battle-worn Deadpool, and he's holding his sword and holding a machine gun over his shoulder, and he has chunks and bullet holes all over him. And it was the first time that I really made a model. Before that, I made a couple of Star Wars ones, which I made a Darth Vader and a Chewbacca, which were pretty cool, but they're fairly simple just because it was one color. Then I made a Boba Fett, and that one was really what kind of got me into making different models, and also what kind of pushed me to start getting into resin printing, because I realized how much detail a resin printer can get over FDM. But yeah, so when Deadpool and Wolverine was coming out, I decided to go on and look at different models, and a friend of mine wanted me to make it. So I found this model, printed it off, and this one was still in FDM. I didn't get the resin printer yet. It came out really good. I primed him and airbrushed him red, and then made my own skin coloring for him and hand painted all of the holes, and then hand painted all of the blood, and then I did the base a greenish brownish, looking like he's walking through the grass, and covered that with different drops of blood. And then I did the machine gun and the sword, and it was really cool because it really kind of launched me into wanting to make small dioramas and models and stuff like that. And there's a ton out there that are super cool for yourselves. If they didn't take so long, I would definitely do a lot more, but it's definitely time consuming if you haven't done it a lot. But yeah, so the Deadpool statue is number 4. Number 3 is going to be the SpiderMan helmet. Now, a lot of you are probably thinking that's not a build. You just printed that whole thing, right? Well, technically, yes, but I did actually do a little bit of extra work to it. And what I mean by that is I took a Sharpie and drew in the lines of the helmet. But yeah, I think this was the first video actually that I made this year, was the SpiderMan helmet. And I was just looking through different models. I found this one on Etsy, and it came with the lenses and the eyes and then the mask. And then at first I was going to paint the lines, but I found out that using a Sharpie is just as good. So I just took a Sharpie to the entire helmet, and it came out really, really good. So yeah, and before this, the only helmets that I really made were Iron Man and Mando, and those ones I took a lot of time into. I sanded them and primed them and painted them, and this one kind of got me into just printing things off in the color of the helmet, because like this helmet literally has a fabric-y texture to it. So if you tried to sand it, it wouldn't look any better. It would just start getting rid of the textures. Because the way that the texture is on the helmet, you actually can't even see the layer lines. All I had to do was add a little bit of Sharpie to it, and it came out pretty great. SpiderMan helmet comes in at number 3. Okay, and at the number 2 spot, I have the Raygun Mark II. Now this one was actually kind of interesting because the model itself is messed up. All the files are completely closed where the green, I guess you could say, like energy sources are supposed to go. And I had to do a lot of work to get those in there, and it turned out to be a pain, but it actually worked out, and everything kind of went smoothly-ish. And yeah, I tried different paints. I did a cool little technique up on the site where it kind of looks like it's floating, like in the game. It's kind of like a magic site. I took some actual wires and hooked them up instead of it just being the plastic, because I kind of wanted to make it look a little bit more realistic, and I think I was able to capture that. It was only printed off in 3 colors, red, black, and green, and the rest of the colors that you see I painted by hand. So yeah, and it's pretty, I mean, the silk PLA, I mean, it looks pretty darn good, especially in the light. It shines like it's metal. And I'm actually currently working on the Raygun Mark I that's going to be fully functioning with a spinning dial and sounds and working ammo, and it's really cool, but that's going to be for a later video because I don't know how long it's going to take. But yeah, this Raygun Mark II is definitely one of my favorite builds ever, and it looks clean. This is actually where I keep it, right up there. So yeah, number 2 is the Raygun Mark II. And coming in at number 1 is the Hulk statue. Now, I don't know why, but for some reason, I didn't make a video of this, and this is definitely the coolest thing that I've ever made. It was the first time that I really tried airbrushing on a model, and it worked out really well. You can see there are some pretty deep layer lines, and that's because this was printed off on FDM, and my printer had some sort of weird wobble on the Z-axis. But besides that, it looks pretty good, if I do say so myself, and I was really impressed with the way that everything turned out. The way that the mouth and the eyes look is really good, and I like how I shaded the pants and how I ended up doing the base with sort of like a two-tone metallic look on the green of the fist. And I made this for my dad for Father's Day. I wish that I would have made myself one too, because this thing is so cool, and I wish that I had it for myself. And funny enough, I've probably made about 5 statues by now, and I don't have any of them because I was making them for other people. So I'm definitely gonna have to start making some stuff for myself. I actually have a really cool idea for Red Hulk, and that will be whenever that movie's coming out. I think it's February. Stay tuned for that, and I have a really cool idea for the Red Hulk that I'm going to make, kind of basing it off of this statue. But yeah, this was the first time that I was mixing paints and airbrushing and, you know, taking layers and trying to really capture the shadows in his muscles. And I was really taking an artistic view at how it should look. I also hand painted the metal on the base and all of the rocks that he's standing on, and I just really like the way that this turned out. It turned out really good. I do wish that I printed it off in resin. Once again, didn't have it at the time, so this was the best that I could do. And yeah, this is definitely my favorite build that I think I've ever made. And I know I say that probably every single time I ever make anything, is this is the best thing I've ever done. But it's true. If you're into 3D printing and you're just getting started off and you make something, the first thing you make, you're probably gonna be like, yeah, you know, it's pretty good. But the next time you do it, you're gonna remember your mistakes, and you're not gonna make those mistakes again, and it'll be better and better and better and better. And before you know it, you're making super cool things. And it's funny because the more you do it and you just take chances with things, the more you get to know what you should and shouldn't do. It'll just become more fluent and almost like a muscle memory. So yeah, if you're ever hesitating on making something like this, or if it's a helmet, or if it's some sort of decoration for your wall, or whatever it is, just do it. Don't wait around, just do it. Try it. If it fails, don't do that next time and do something else. So yeah, I'm done being a motivational speaker. This is my favorite build of 2024. So thank you guys for watching the video. I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope that you guys are enjoying Printmas so far. We're one day away from being halfway through Printmas, so that's kind of sad, but also kind of cool because the later Printmas gets, the better the videos get. Let me know down below which one of my builds were your favorite ones of the year. Let me know what you guys are excited to see me make in 2025. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow for another episode of Printmas.